Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the richest zip code in America. Now, this is going to be pretty crazy because America's got a lot of rich neighborhoods, a lot of super expensive properties. So to be up there as the richest one, the most expensive one, it's really got to be something out of this world, right? Like here in London, we've got some very, very expensive areas as well. You know, Knightsbridge, Chelsea. So it's gonna be interesting to see what makes it here as the number one, so I can compare it to what we have to offer here and kind of see if, you know, if like you guys, if you had the money to buy it, like to buy property in this zip code, would you go for it? So yeah, this should be really cool. Let's do it.
So we're about to check out one of the country's most expensive neighborhoods. This is Fisher Island. Mel Brooks, Julia Roberts, and Oprah have all owned homes here.
Okay.
With an average income of $2.2 million. It's the richest zip code in the United States, and we got a chance to tour it. You may have heard of Fisher from reports that all the residents and staff got
nice.
COVID-19 antibody tests, just 3 miles from Miami, where testing was rare. Yep, that's where we're headed.
It does look
You
good.
actually have to take a ferry there. It's one of the only ways to get on the island. The other way to get on the island? Private yacht. Only the island's 800 families and their guests are allowed on Fisher.
Very
so security's
picturesque.
pretty tight at the ferry terminal. But we got special access back in November 2019.
So if you don't live on the island or know anybody on there, you can't get on there then. I guess it's exclusive.
Thanks to Dora Puig, one of the island's real estate agents.
Fisher Island is a private island enclave with 216 acres.
Dora invited us to tour Fisher's newest developments, Palazzo del Sol and Palazzo della Luna, opened in 2019, which is how we ended up on the island's newest ferry, taking the 7-minute journey from Miami Beach. So right now I'm on the ferry over to Fisher Island, and as you can see, I'm the only one here in the passenger lounge. Most everyone is in their cars. We've got a Bentley, a Lamborghini, a Porsche, Ferrari, I think. You won't see these zooming around the island, though. To enforce strict speed limits, most people drive around in golf carts.
Really? So, I mean, like, if you've got all this money and you own, you know, supercars, you can't really drive it on this island? Jeez.
When you go to the beach club, you'll have a mini Rolls-Royce golf cart, or you'll have a Range Rover golf cart, or I've seen even vintage old American cars in baby blue.
The median waterfront home here costs $2.9 million. But residents are not only splurging on million-dollar apartments, they're also paying a hefty membership fee. That covers unlimited use of the community pools, the 17 tennis courts, and the private beaches with sand imported from the Bahamas.
Jesus.
But it doesn't include the golf course or the 2 marinas.
The original idea of Fisher Island was for everyone to live in the community and use the community amenities.
Right.
But even on a private island, some residents want even more exclusive perks. The newest condos, Palazzo del Sol and della Luna, don't have beachfront locations, but they do have a private gym, salon, theater, and pool, and water transport that only condo.
But I mean, like, so far, none of the features she's spoken about are really that amazing, like a gym and a pool. I mean, you can get this in a lot of new build apartment blocks these days.
Residents can use.
Come step in with me.
Dora first showed us a $14.5 million unit in Palazzo della Luna. She says many of the island's current residents have been looking to trade up for a home like this one, so they don't have to share amenities with the whole community. This unit has 4 bedrooms and 5 baths.
You walk in, you're at ground level, just like in a single family home. You have your private pool, you're on the bay, and look at the size of the outdoor entertaining terraces. It wraps around the whole corner of the residence.
Hold on, is this the pool? So this is the pool in this $14.5 million property. I mean, look, the property seems nice, but that pool seems a little small, don't you think?
You could have a dinner for 200 to 300 people here.
The selling point? The disappearing master suite.
You walk into a dressing room that looks like an Hermes shop. Walk-in dressing room for the lady in white lacquered Italian closets. The custom bathroom by Buffy for us.
I mean,
with
it's
the floating
nice. It
island
is
in
nice.
white lacquer. The tub is custom made for us, and it's called the Fisher Island. And then enter into the master suite with your 12-foot ceilings.
It's a nice looking place.
As we were
for sure.
curious, we went to check out a second apartment, a supposedly more affordable unit up a couple floors. At $9 million, it's got 3 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms.
3 bedrooms, 9 mil. Guys, what do you think about that? I would expect bigger for 9 mil.
Here you're walking into the wooded parlor with our little mini
I guess you're paying for the location.
Olive blonde oak. You have the main living room, dining room, kitchen areas to the bay, and the master suite is also to the bay. And then you have the 2 guest suites on the golf course side.
You can keep all the furniture for an extra $2 million.
So you don't get the furniture included. You got to pay extra. Wow. Jeez.
Look at how beautiful it is.
These 2 new developments have only made Fisher more untouchable, pushing home values across the island up by 20%. Today, you'll find price tags of over $40 million for a condo. That's only $10 million short of the most expensive home ever sold in Miami. And that was an entire mansion. The Palazzos were the first developments on Fisher in nearly a decade and are targeting a new generation of buyers.
Traditionally, we had a little bit older demographic because the island is so beautiful and it's expensive. We've really seen it switch to a much younger crowd. So we've seen a nice migration towards younger family.
Guys, based on what you've seen so far, if you had 14.5 mil or 9 mil, the 2 properties that you've seen for those prices, would you be interested in those properties? Like, they are very nice, don't get me wrong. Really, really good looking, nicely furnished and stuff. But for those prices, I don't know.
Some come from generations of family wealth. Others come from selling oil companies, selling financial instruments, technology, hedge funds.
Even still, half of the residents are over 60, making them particularly vulnerable for COVID-19.
Right.
The island has always been a place for the 1% to get away, ever since it was formed in 1906, when a canal was dredged so boats could go from the port of Miami straight to the ocean.
The interesting part about this is that Fisher Island today would have been south of 5th Street in Miami Beach because it was actually connected to the tip of Miami Beach Peninsula.
Miami's first black billionaire, real estate mogul Dana Dorsey, was one of the first owners of the new island. He wanted to build a black resort here, but he had trouble getting workers out to the island to build it. So he sold it to billionaire developer Carl Fisher, who named it after himself. Next up, the Vanderbilt family.
Carl Fisher and William Vanderbilt were known to party and have a lot of fun here. And one very late night, I'm sure there were drinks involved. They traded the island. Carl Fisher traded his island with his winter home, which is today the club, to William Vanderbilt for his over 200-foot yacht. So they did the trade, and then
That's hilarious. Like how people trade, cards and stuff, trading cards. These guys were like, yeah, I'll give you my yacht if you give me your island.
Later on sunk. And William Vanderbilt kept the island.
Oh,
so I think he was the better
boat
businessman.
sunk.
After Vanderbilt's death, the island passed hands between millionaires, and then it was left vacant for 15 years. In the 1980s, Fisher's current developers started work on the community you see today. And now, Fisher is a full-blown town. The old Vanderbilt mansion is a hotel, with suites running for almost $1,500 a night. Vanderbilt's old airplane hangar is now a spa, and you can even rent a property here on Airbnb for about $700 a night. But this doesn't happen in a vacuum. It takes about 600 workers to run this island. They live off island and have 3 separate ferries. During the day, they staff a school, post office, fire station, a security force, and a medical center. It was from that private health clinic that...
I think with this, property on this island, you're paying for the safety, right? You're paying for the secluded community, the networking potentially, the privacy, I guess. You're not so much paying for the property, it's everything that comes with it. I guess when you factor all that in, maybe the price is a bit more justified.
Residents and workers got those infamous antibody tests.
We're back on the ferry. We just finished our tour of Fisher Island. It's really hard to wrap your brain around just the amount of wealth squished into one place, how that exists so close to reality across the bay.
As visitors pre-COVID, we got this sense that even with all its normal town functions, Fisher Island is anything but normal. It's like a live-in resort community, manicured, eerily perfect, and as secluded as ever.
Very interesting.
Hey guys, my name's Abby.
Really, really interesting. Like, cool place. It definitely is somewhere that I'd like to visit. Maybe spend a couple nights on the island just to soak it in, absorb it, just to, you know, see what it's really like. Because I think there's only so much you can see on a video. Like, sometimes it takes you being somewhere to really grasp and get an essence for it. I don't know though, like, you know, all things being considered, would I spend 14.5 million on that 4-bed, 5-bath property? Would I spend that? Probably not. I do think you could probably get way more bang for your buck elsewhere. Maybe you won't be on a private island, but then again, at this stage in my life, I probably am not the core clientele they go after. Like if I had a family, I was in my maybe mid to late 40s, it'd be a lot more attractive to me. But I'd probably rather spend that on a super nice penthouse in like a bustling city like London or maybe New York. Or, you know, like for that money, $14.5 million, that's about 12 million pounds. You could get an absolutely stunning house here in London in a really gorgeous area. I'm sure you could probably get really nice places in Texas as well. To be honest, for that money, anywhere. But they were very nice properties, the properties on Fisher Island. They were for sure. Just I thought maybe a little small. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.